guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I want to welcome you back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing just a basic disassembly and cleaning of this very sweet, somewhat antiquated Sig Sauer P228. It's got a beautiful patina to it. And this firearm is on loan to me by Stan, the owner of SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. And as you know, Stan's been a longtime supporter of my channel. He loans me firearms from his personal collection that I get to take apart and clean and take to the range and clean up and get some experience with. And I like to bring all that to you guys, the viewers. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and get started. We'll take a look at this Sig Sauer real quick. Again, it is an older design. It was manufactured in West Germany. Okay, it has those inscriptions right here on the slide. Stan was thinking that maybe this was an law enforcement firearm. Okay, it just has your standard dot sights on the back of it. Again, it's got some what might be possible holster wear, especially down here along the bottom of the trigger guard. Okay, so again, very cool firearm, very neat. This is only the second Sig Sauer I've ever fired in my life, so I'm obviously very excited to go take it out to the range. We're gonna put some rounds through and see how it runs. I believe it's got a 15-round magazine. Have not had a chance to load it up and take it out yet, so. All right, so real quick, to do this cleaning, it's gonna be very simple. Okay, you just gotta make sure that you have some bore brushes. They're very nice to have. Some cleaning brushes, soft brass, cleaning rod with patches, CLP, Rem oil. I like to use both of them. And just some basic cotton patches. Okay, you can also use t-shirts that you cut up or get pre-cut cotton patches. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and depending on how dirty the gun is, obviously you may not know how much you're gonna need. And also some Q-tips. Got an ammo box full of Q-tips. It really helps us with some of that fine detail work. All right, so we'll go ahead and move into the first step of this cleaning process. It's not gonna be a tough one, so hang tight. Okay, so first things first, obviously you want to make sure that the firearm is in fact unloaded. Okay, just go ahead and eject your magazine right there. And again, guys, I treat these like maybe this is your first gun and you've never taken it apart before and cleaned it. That's why I give you a lot of these safety steps. Okay, we are definitely clear. Good to go. We can leave the hammer cocked back. It doesn't really matter. In fact, we need to lock back the slide by pushing up on the slide lever right here, your slide stop right there. Okay, and then what you want to do is go ahead and push down the release lever right here. It's going to be a little tight. Get a good grip on it here. Let's see. There we go. Got it. Cool. Okay, and then just go ahead and release the slide. It's going to come right off. And we've got our lower receiver, lower, whatever you want to refer to it as, right? Cool. What's neat about this is you've got these full-length slides. I'm assuming that they're probably steel. I don't know if it's a aluminum lower frame. I really haven't looked much into the history of this gun. Now, it was fired before I took it out, so obviously it's dirty. It's going to need a good cleaning. And we'll get started with that here in just a second. So just nice, solid quality components. Typical German over-engineering, which means it's going to be fairly robust and should be durable. All right, and then, yeah, again, this design is going to be just like that P220 that we took out before, chambered in .45 caliber. So you do not have a captive guide rod spring, which means if you pop this out, it could come flying out. The spring could go shooting off. So just kind of take a look at that slide. You can see how just simple the internals are on it. Okay, and again, it is a hammer fire design. So a little bit different design, maybe some of the newer SIGs that are out there. Okay, we'll go ahead and take the guide rod spring combo out. Okay, and you can go ahead and take the barrel out. Just take a look at that. Again, it's got some wear to it. Seeing a little bit of love at the range. There we go. Again, you can see the rifling in there is pretty dirty. It's caked up pretty good with some carbon. Not going to be a problem for us. We'll get this all cleaned up here. Can't even tell if the feed ramp has been polished because again, it's been fired. Okay, it's not a problem. Nice heavy feel to it. It's got some good heft to it. Very simple design. We'll get that cleaning rod spring all cleaned up. Okay, so I think what we'll do is go ahead and just move on to that lower and we'll get that all cleaned up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just go ahead and get yourself a little bit of Rem oil here and just spray out the inside of it a little bit. You can take a brush to it if you want to. I tend to just wipe it off with patches first, and if it needs some brush to get some of the residue and carbon off of it, we can do that. But just spray that on. You can let it sit for a couple minutes if you want to. It doesn't really matter, especially if you pick up one of these used. You never really know how many rounds have been put through it before you take it out and shoot it. It could be really dirty, or it could be just could have just been clean before you purchased it. You never know exactly, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just give that a little scrub out here. And again, as you know, it's generally off camera, but I tend to do a little bit of fine detail work with Q-tips. So the thing, when you get enough handguns and you take apart enough handguns, you really start to see a lot of the similarities in the designs between them. Really not a lot of surprises. For the lower, you can use any good gun cleaner you want to. I've just used Rem oil for a very long time. I've never had a problem. I have very few issues with my guns if I clean them with it. What's nice is it doesn't leave much of a residue anywhere on the gun. Okay, so that's not bad. It'll leave a nice protective clean. We're going to hit it one more time and then wipe it off with a clean patch. Oh yeah, another thing that's going to be important to do. Get yourself a Q-tip, put some Rem oil on it. Run the length of those tracks and get those cleaned out. You've got such lengthy rails on this thing in your slide that you might get a little bit of crud in there that can build up. Anything you can do to make sure it's a smoother shooter than it already is. And obviously it's a Sig, so it's going to be fairly smooth. There we go. Yeah, it's really not too bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and just turn the camera off and just do a little bit of fine detail, work with some Q-tips, and just go through it and get all the nooks and crannies cleaned out. You can put some CLP on the Q-tips if you want, or some Rem oil. Whatever you want to do to just kind of get that burned carbon out of it and get that gunpowder off of it, and you'll be good to go. So, all right, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and we'll start working on the slide. Okay guys, so the next thing you want to do is just go ahead and get your CLP and put a straw in it and go ahead and just spray the inside of the barrel till it starts to overrun. Let it run down that barrel. Actually, we're just going to spray some pretty much all over the barrel itself and just wipe it on there and let it start to soak in. And that'll start to break down all the deposits and everything that you have in your barrel. Just let it go in there for a second. We'll kind of push this off to the side. Okay, that's no problems there. Again, I like to just let this stuff soak because it just helps break everything down. You have a lot less issues down the road. Go ahead and take your guide rod out from your spring. Go ahead and hit that up with some CLP. Start to wipe everything off. And again, we'll get everything nice and cleaned up. Okay, no problems there. And you guys know, if you watch my channel, you know I'm kind of a clean freak when it comes to keeping my firearms clean. I just feel like they're going to be a little more reliable if you don't have a dirty firearm. And it's just nice to take it out and just have it function the way it needs to, bring it home. Okay, we're going to go and clean out the inside of the guide rod here with the patch, if we can get the patch to fit in there. That's going to be a tight fit. Okay, we might have to cut that one down. Okay. But anyway, yeah, okay, so we'll go ahead and wipe off the guide rod. Again, your CLP is going to leave a much thicker coating on your parts, and as long as you don't have like an excessive amount of lube on these parts here, you shouldn't really have to worry about any issues. Okay, we're going to go and wipe off the spring now. That cleaned off. You might find that this is going to get a little dirty too. Okay, no problems there. Easy. Done. Okay. All right. And then before we come back to the barrel, I'm going to continue to let that soak because, like I said, the barrel had some fairly heavy deposits in it. Go push that off to the side. The slide itself, we're going to go and hit just a little bit of CLP towards the bottom of the slide, a little bit on the sides here. Don't want to go too crazy. Just kind of wipe it around the inside, and we'll hit that with the patch here too. Okay. And always a good idea, go ahead and take a Q-tip, CLP on that, and go ahead and run that on the inside of these channels that your rail's right on. You're going to see how much buildup you can get inside there. Again, a lot of guys say, oh, that's a lot more cleaning than you need to do. That's just, all you need to do is just give it a general wipe off and it's basically done. Yeah, but it's one of those things where if you got the time, right? It's always fun for me to do this. Go and hit the inside of the slide here with the Q-tip too. Okay, got that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a clean patch here and just go ahead and wipe this out real quick. And again, I find that CLP, man, you don't have to let it soak for very long. It definitely does a pretty good number on that. Any of that grease and deposits you might have in there. See how dirty that is? Okay. And that's why we do this. We like to get it cleaned up. There's a couple areas I like to put a little more attention to. One of them is going to be the front where your firing pin is. That little block that your firing pin comes out of. And the other part's going to be the rear, basically where the hammer strikes. I sometimes find that doesn't get cleaned very often. Okay, let's go ahead and take a patch here and get a little bit of CLP on that. Okay. I'm not going to take a brush to this because it really seems to be holding in just fine. It doesn't seem to have a lot of crud on it, so it shouldn't need a whole lot of fine detail work. Kind of go inside this little area here where your guide rod goes. Okay, there we go. Get inside there. Wipe out the inside of that, and again, you're going to find that there's going to be some carbon buildup in there too. No problems there. Okay, all right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next step, okay, which is going to be cleaning the front of that little firing pin face. Okay, so hang tight. Whoops. All right, so what we're going to go ahead and do is just go ahead and spray towards the front where your firing pin is, a little bit of Rem oil. Okay, and then go ahead and grab your soft brush. You can even use a toothbrush if you want to. An old toothbrush works great for this. I usually don't hold it back. I try to hold it level or hold it forward so you don't have anything that's going to run into the firing pin channel, because we're not going to be disassembling that today. Brush that off a little bit. You want to make sure that area around that extractor is nice and clean. Okay, then just go ahead and wipe that face off there. You'll see how much stuff is going to come off on there. Okay, no problems there. Just kind of take a look at it. Yeah, all kinds of residue. Again, we want to get this nice and clean so we can take it to the range and not have any problems. Looks good. Hoping I can get out to the range tomorrow. We'll see. Depends if we have any more rain or snow coming in. So it's kind of a crapshoot out here in central Nebraska when it comes to getting out to the firing range during the week. You never know in the springtime if you're going to get snow or rain or what you're going to get. Okay, so now what we want to do is just go ahead and take a Q-tip and wipe off behind the extractor here. You can see that that's a little dirty too. This little area right back here. Get that cleaned out. Okay, no problems there. And you know, it's one of those things again, you know, the more you clean the gun, okay, it's going to start to get kind of a natural coating in it. The easier it's going to be the next time you go to clean it up and stuff. Shouldn't have any problems there. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to the barrel. That looks pretty good. Again, we'll give this one more general just wipe down with some CLP before we put it back together. All right, now we got this thing just full of CLP, so we're going to go ahead and take a soft bore brush and just go through there a couple times. Again, you can just see the wear. Just looks awesome. It looks like an antique firearm. That's so cool. These SIGs, they definitely age nicely. Okay, then I like to take a second brush that's a little more dense. It's just got some nylon bristles on it. Just run that through it a couple times. I had this kind of stupid idea about running my bore brush through it, you know, like, or my bore snake through it, the one that I use on my rifles. Because I've got, you know, like a 30 caliber bore brush that might just go right through there and do a good job on it. Bore snake, sorry. But I'm just going to kind of keep it simple today. We're just going to do the cleaning rod thing with some patches. And it's a little dirty. It's a little dirty, but it's coming out clean. That's good. Again, you can definitely tell that CLP is doing its thing. Okay, yeah, I've seen worse. It's not bad. Very nice. We're going to take a CLP soaked patch and just go ahead and run that through the barrel and see where that puts us. Go. Okay, no problems there. I'm looking inside of it. I'm not seeing any more residue. Again, if you have a nice shiny barrel and you can see the rifling, I think we're good to go there. I also like to take a Q-tip and hit kind of the back of this channel right here where the lug is. Just kind of wipe that out. You can sometimes get a buildup on it. Wipe around the top of your barrel where it locks into the slide, because you will get a buildup on there, as you can see. I think we're going to hit that with a patch here. And yeah, you know, pistols, very, very simple. The more you practice with these, the easier it is. I need to ask Stan if he's got a high point he can loan me. I know you're going to laugh at me. I had a high point 45 for quite a while, and before I sold it, first time I took it apart, I don't know what happened. Somehow there's this rod that's in the handle, the pistol, and when I put it back together, that rod got bent. I have no idea what happened, and I ended up having to send it into him. I'd like to try to disassemble another high point now, just to see if I can do it without breaking it. I mean, I was trying to be as careful as I could. I honestly don't know what happened, but yeah, it just kind of was disappointing. Luckily, I haven't had any issues since then when it comes to taking apart firearms and cleaning them and so on. Get around the channels and the lugs. There we go. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to turn the camera off for a sec. I need to get just a tiny patch, and we're just going to run the cleaning rod in and out of that, this cleaning rod right here in the guide rod, okay, in and out a couple times just to get the crud cleaned out of there. And then I think what we're going to do is just go ahead and begin the process of reassembly. So all we're going to do is give everything a nice light coat of oil, the inside of the slide, okay, your lower, and begin the reassembly process. So hang tight. Okay guys, we are ready for reassembly. I just went through everything and wiped it off one more time, and I was still getting some powder residue and grease and oil and stuff to come off of it. So we should be good for now. Again, we'll give it a good cleaning after we're done shooting it. All right, so go ahead and put your barrel back on the slide. And you want to go ahead and just take your spring and guide rod. Remember, it's not gonna be contained, so you want to be careful when you reassemble it. Okay, just be forewarned. Okay, just go ahead and put the guide rod and the spring back in. And when you get it done correctly, it's gonna seat. Everything should be nice and level. Okay, your guide rod spring combo should be flat. You should not see any kind of an angle coming up from the back of the slide or the back of the barrel. Okay, it's no problems there. Easy to reassemble. Much lighter slide than what I think came with the P220 45 cal. So, all right, now just go ahead and put your rails back on. Take your top slide here, and just put it back onto your lower. I'm doing this opposite-handed. Okay. Much better. There we go. Okay. Just go ahead and slide everything back on, and you're just going to want to pull it back. There you go. Push that locking lever back there, your slide release lever, or your slide stop lever, right? Push that up on it, and then go ahead and flip up the release lever. Okay, and then just go ahead and function check it. It's always the funnest part, right? Pull back the slide, make sure everything seems nice and secure, very smooth decocker. Okay, that works fine. Before I dry fire it, I'm just going to go ahead and put some snap caps in the magazine and put that back in and get a chance to test the trigger and see how it feels. It's got a very heavy double action pull. I mean, it's almost like, I'm gonna say 20 pounds. I'm not kidding, but that's okay because we're gonna be shooting it single action where it's nice and light. There we go, man. Such a cool gun. And again, I'm gonna give the outside a little wipe down here to clean it up a bit, but I think we're sitting good. Got your magazine. Okay, I'm gonna clean that off too here in just a minute. All right, so there you have it, guys. That is the basic disassembly and cleaning of the Sig Sauer P228. Again, Stan, thank you for loaning me this pistol. I'm going to have a great time with it at the range. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah, you know, if you can find one of these, I know I've always been told, oh, make sure you get the ones that are made in West Germany. You know, if you can find a new one and get a good deal on it, you know, and take it to the range and test it out, I wouldn't hesitate to buy one. But it is very cool having this nice old, you know, just older piece, you know. It kind of came from a little bit different time when guns were made. Although, you know, the formula hasn't really changed on how these P-Series guns are manufactured, but there's a few changes that have come through the pipe. But yeah, we're going to get that out to the range and test it out. So there you go, guys. All right, I want to thank you for joining in today. I want to thank you for checking out the channel. Please like or subscribe. Please check out the other channels that I promote at the end of this video, as well as the playlists that I share with you. Again, Sig Sauer P228 is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, if you want to see how it runs at the range, I'll have that video posted here in a couple days. Please, guys, I want you to like and subscribe. Check me out over on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, all the social media outlets. Okay, you can also find me over at gunchannels.com on the Ordinary Average Guy Gun channel. And I try to put links to fellow gun channel members with their podcasts on my particular videos for you to check out. It gives you something to do. It's a very cool community of people. I've actually met a lot of friends going through gun channels, so it's a good time. And so there you have it, guys. Very simple, very easy. Please, again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment box. That contact information for SS Pawns at the bottom of the video. Okay, guys, and as always, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Okay, bye.